For those of you that don't know me, I'm Christy Running. I'm Eddie's older sister and favorite sister, as he would say. And sorry, maybe I shouldn't have watched that video before starting. But so since my brother passed away January 8th, 2023, I have made it my life mission. Mission. Thanks. Gordy, you're fired. Lauren, you're hired. Yay. Okay, my life mission to, advocacy or advocate for people in prison. Does not matter what you're there for. You still matter. You're still a person. And there are people, maybe few, but there are people out here that want to see you do good, that want you to be remembered, and that's what we're here for. Most of you guys I know, but my brother was 36 years old, denied medical. Huh?
He was a great dad.
He was a very great dad. Even better brother. He was really good. But he was denied medical care. After 3 long days, he lost his life, and the ODOC tried to sweep it under the rug. And in fact, the first call that I got was a day after he died from a nurse. She said, "Has anybody called you?" I'm like, "Why the fuck are you calling me from the prison? Like, you're going to try to talk crap about my brother. What do you need?" And she told me that your brother wasn't feeling well. He was pale, lethargic, and wanted to lay down. He went and laid down, and when they did his medical check, like their rounds, that he was unresponsive, and he didn't respond to life-saving measures. That is word for word what she said. My immediate response was, what about his cellmate? Because I'm thinking that his cellmate has something to do with his death. Okay? She told me he did not have a cellmate, but I had just spoke to my brother less than 3 days before that, knowing that he had a cellmate, knowing that there was something not right. And let me see if I can do this. So that got me thinking after I got off the phone. A few days later, I messaged a few people I knew in prison, asked them to call me. I got a call back, and he said, "Oh my God, that was your brother. They suspected him of having something on him. They took him to this dry cell. Christy, there's 24-hour surveillance. There's video. Do something about it." He said, "I've seen too many people die. Do something about it." I immediately called the state detective that had been in contact asking about my sister. I accused him. I said, "Are you fucking kidding me? He was in your care under 24-hour surveillance and you did nothing?" And then he's just like, "Well, don't know what to say. If I had a sibling, I would not watch that video." And that was, his remark. After that, I made it my mission to stand up and to find out really what happened to my brother. And every day since then, I have fought, and you want to do this? 5. You gotta do 5, yeah. And so that's what I'm here for. It's been almost 3 years next month since he passed away, and yeah, you can just talk. And now, as often as we can, we come together. Because of that, I've met many of you guys, including Stephen, and we all have some story to tell about incarceration, the system, how they've done us wrong, people that have lost their lives, people that are affected by the system. And as I said, we are here to, speak out, speak up for these people that are voiceless, that our society wants to hush, to punish, to kill, and not answer for. So that's what we're here for. Oh, I need my phone. She took my phone. And our purpose specifically for tonight is to make some inmates smile. So it didn't just start with Eddie. It's not going to just end with Eddie. And there's a lot of people still every single day affected by this. We are going to talk about a few things. I want to show you a few things that have happened recently, and then we'll end by writing some Christmas cards, and we're going to send them out. Our goal is 200 this year to inmates or adults in custody. Sorry, I'm working on that. Adults in custody, and hopefully adults in custody. And, you know, bring a smile to their face. A lot of people don't have anybody, a single person. So that's what we're here for. I want to share with you some things that are very alarming. All right. So recently, actually, what is it? Today is the 13th, 10 days ago. This woman right here, Hannah Bazzi, I don't want to say her last name wrong. She was found unresponsive in her cell in Coffee Creek here in Oregon. 32 years old. Of course, ODOC releases the brief, this person, you know, under investigation, which, as we know, nothing ever comes of it. And then they say that it's under investigation, but there's never a update. This woman, 32 years old, I think she had, what, couple years left, Stephen? So an outdate, she didn't have a life. Dead? I mean, that's not acceptable. 32 years old, not friggin' acceptable. This guy right here, 1 month ago today, I don't know if this was TRCI or OSP.
So the main death right now has been TRCI, OSP,
Oh.
and Snake.
Yeah. Well, Two Rivers Correctional Facility, where Eddie was killed, is the #1 death prison in Oregon. By far, they have more deaths than anybody else. And you can understand that because it's located out in the middle of nowhere. It takes about 8 hours to get there from here. So, this man lost his life, 42 years old. I know he had less than 3 years until he got out. He has 2 small children. His name is Philip Bradley. Cause of death, of course, unknown, under investigation. Same old bullshit they always say. This kid right here, Cole Pryor. What was this, OSP?
Two Rivers.
Two Rivers. 27 years old. How does a 27-year-old die? It just doesn't happen. It shouldn't happen. This happened less than a month ago. Like what, 28 days ago? Cause of death, unknown. They say drugs, they say medicine, I'm not sure. But again, if they're in your care, if you take your kid to a babysitter and you leave him there, if the kid dies, whose fault is it? The child care babysitter. So same when we have our loved ones in incarceration. They are under their care. If he's given medicine and he dies, who's at fault? This man right here, I won't even try to pronounce his name because I don't want to do it an injustice, but 54 years old. I believe this one is Two Rivers as well. He did not have an out date, no parole, but he's still a human, you know. This is less than 6 months ago. That's not, no pre-existing conditions. Why does a 54-year-old die? And then this man right here, Keith Stewart, 51 years old. He only had, I think, 2027 when I looked until he was supposed to be released. He's the father of 2 boys and 1 girl, from what I can tell online. And again, cause of death unknown. The people, these 5 people I'm showing you, are all within the last 6 months. They're all very young, too young to die. It's not like a 81-year-old, a 91-year-old. These are young people with, almost all of them, only a few short years left to serve until they get out. This is a trend. This is not okay. And gathering like this, coming together, is exactly what we need to do to make sure that they know these are people, they have children, they have families, and that they matter.
Is he Three Rivers also?
Two Rivers, Let me look.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's a good question because
That's how many in the less than 6 months?
that's less than 6 months.
So there's been at least 4 in the last 2 months.
Yep.
And it's weird how they all have like a couple months to come out. All of them. Why did they all die at this like almost a couple years until they came out? Why do they all die before they have a couple years to come out?
Well, since Eddie's passed away, there's been many dozens and dozens since he's passed away. This is only just in the last 6 months. So that guy that we just showed, he died at OSP. The kid Cole, the 27-year-old, died at Two Rivers. Not surprised. The girl died at Coffee Creek. I mean, 46. Okay. There's just another Two Rivers. I mean, there's just on and on and on. So.
Yep.
All right. Sweet.
Sorry about that. That was Pauline.
No, it's okay. I just want to get my. Okay. Throughout this, almost 3 years, we've met so many people. Last year, we had a woman in here who lost her son, and yeah, lost her son and just sobbed and sobbed. It's awful, and I just want to thank you guys for being here, and then also open the floor for Lauren. I know you're a center stage kind of girl. Yes, you are. I've seen you. Or your friend Bailey. Yeah. I know that you have had experiences yourself.
Yeah, I guess here.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you inviting me. So, if you don't know me, my name's Bailey, formerly known as 165-28510. Contrary to belief, I'm a lot older than I look, and I actually did 15 years in the Department of Corrections at the age of 19.
Wow.
So at 19 years old, I got convicted and was sent to Snake River. And I did probably about 5-6 years out there, and then I was transferred because Department of Corrections likes to move you around a lot. So at this point, I'm at the farthest point I can be away from my family. I'm from the West Coast, from the Coos Bay area, coastal range. I'm sent to Snake River, and at that time, I mean, it's kind of like what you hear. It's gladiator school. That's what we called it back in the day. Because you come in, you're a young kid. You don't. I mean, everybody's like, I'm not scared. I'm scared shitless. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm thinking absolute worst. You know, I'm doing 15 years in this place. I don't know what's gonna happen. So, an experience when I hear these stories and all these things, and so I recently got released in 2024. So I've been home for roughly, it'll be 2 years in January.
Nice.
And I have been home now for that long, and it's been a change. And stories like this and things like this, and it just makes me like, I've been quiet for so long. Like, I've seen so much, you can imagine that.
I can't even, yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm so tired of it, you know. It's continuous, and you think we need people like this to come forward, because oftentimes even people like me, like technically I'm still under their thumb. So
Yeah.
at times it's like you got to watch what you say, but
Watch
I've
what you
learned
say, who you
I don't care
translate.
anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thing with me, so if you're unfamiliar with Oregon, it's Major 11.
Yeah.
So in Oregon, it doesn't matter if you've ever been in trouble in your life or it's your first time in trouble. Mandatory sentence.
Mandatory minimum.
First time
Yep.
offender. Never been in trouble in my life. 15 years. No time to go home early. No time to get out early. No AIP. I don't get programs. I
No
get nothing.
incentive. No
I get
nothing.
So there's absolutely nothing for me to. Why should I be good? I mean, that's what people think. I mean, there's no reason to. What are you going to do to me? You know what I mean? What are you going to do to me? That's what they think. That's the thought process.
Yeah.
But so, I'd say over time, my story goes, I've had experiences like this, especially with medical. So one of mine had to do with, I had an autoimmune disorder that I didn't know about, but they did. So they did a biopsy on me, and I think it was like around the 2000 era, and they told me I had pigmentation going on in my body, and they couldn't figure out why it was happening. So I'm like, hey, this is concern. It hurts, you know, like I don't know what's going on. Like I hurt. I can't run. I can't do all these things. I can't be a 25-year-old dude trying to work out, play basketball, you know, whatever. And they're like, you're fine, you're fine. So they do this biopsy. It gets done. Nothing comes of it. They're like, it's just something you're going to have to deal with. So time goes on. I deal with it, right? I asked for my medical records, which people don't really realize in there. It's not something that you're told that you have access to.
No.
It's all, the problem is they lead you to, you're incompetent because you don't know, because they don't tell you the things because they don't want you to know. So I get my medical records and I found out 5 years prior they had a diagnosis and they knew what it was.
Really?
Yeah, so then I proceed to go to medical with this. And I'm like, hey, grievance process. Now I heard you talk about policies, procedures, and stuff like this. And saying like I've read these things, I've done them because I've had to go through them personally. So like the grievance process is our only route to where if we have, nobody will help us. The whole point is I'm supposed to fill out a grievance, turn it in, and be like, I'm having a problem. Somebody help me. Somebody do something. And it's denied. Then you get an appeal. It's denied. Then you get an appeal.
And it's not immediate. It's not. I'm going to write this piece of paper, send it, wait for the guard to pick it up.
So
hopefully the person, I mean, it's a week long,
like, so
maybe longer to get a response.
You would say they have 30 days to respond to this appeal, right? 30 days. So if I'm appealing for a medical grievance because I'm having problems. 30 days, I get a response, no. I appeal. 30 days, I get a response, no. The last appeal is they have, and this personally happened to me, this is how I know, because they have a certain time to appeal. It was like 30, 40 days. Okay, they go over the 30 days and they go, hey, we're going to put this under investigation. Because the whole rule of investigation is now I get an extra 20 days to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Investigation. So it goes under investigation. They come back, and I write them. I say, hey, you're over your time limit. No response. I literally heard back from them probably 4 months later, and they denied it. And they're like, your grievance has been denied. And I'm like, you went over your own policy procedure right here.
Yeah.
And didn't even cover it. They just blew it over. So I literally got zero treatment until, this goes into a whole nother story. So I broke my hand in Department of Corrections. So my hand was physically broken to where I couldn't brush my teeth. I couldn't tie my shoes. I couldn't wash my back. I had to go to my friend and be like, will you please tie my shoe for me? And he'd tie it, and then I couldn't take my shoes off all day. That's how it was. So I was working in the physical plant at the time, so I was doing HVAC, stuff like that. So my hand was broken. I get up in the morning, and it's completely swollen. And I'm like, hey. And they're like, go to the nurse. And the thing with medical that they don't tell you also is you can't, it's not like, I can't just say, I have a boo-boo, can I go get a Band-Aid? Can I get a pill? Can I get a, they're like, no. Get out of here. We've got better things to do. That's how medical is there. And I've been in like places where you hear these people talk and they're just like, most of them are either there just to pass the time or they're there because they're being punished for being there also.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a strange thing, which you don't hear about.
Yeah.
Like the doctors, some of them have actually been in trouble and placed into
Yep.
DOC.
Yep.
They're like, now an actual ND is working in DOC because of things like this. And they're actually told like, okay, if he's got a big problem, let's put it down here. Let's kind of, what can we do to get him? How close is he going home? Is he about a year to go home? Yeah, let's keep gnawing that off because he's about to go. We're not gonna have to deal with it. Like that's a real actual thing.
Yeah.
And it goes on and on. So after I broke my hand, I was like this for 8 months with my broken hand. I was actually at that time in an apprenticeship program that I fought so hard to get in. That's the one thing I wanted because I wanted to have something to do when
you got out.
And they literally told me, if you don't show up, you lose your job. I'm like, okay, but my hand's broken. They're like, show up or lose your job. So I showed up with my broken hand, and I was there every day. And then they're like, I'm like, I can't, I can only do so much, and my hand's so messed up by this time, I can't. And then so I got sent out. And I saw a doctor, and I was like in the Salem hospital, and we started talking about this because unfortunately, I've been the person, even when I'm in chains, like I'll talk to anybody. I just like to talk to people. That's, so I'm like, even though walking through there like this, so I get a hold of the doctor, it's like more like he's trying to get me to shut up, and I'm just da-da-da-da-da. And so I tell him about my hand. He does an x-ray, and come to find out, yeah, my bone had been shattered, and I need surgery. And he's like, how long have you been like this? And I'm like, for 8 months. And he's like, So from then on, I finally got a chance to get something, but the only way it was initiated is I physically had to spend the money that I made in the Department of Corrections to file a $200 filing fee to sit in front of a judge and say, I can't use my hand and they won't help me. That's the only way I got anywhere. And then finally the judge says, you guys need to fix this right now. And these are things you don't hear about. Like
Never.
Stories like these never come out.
Never.
Because their whole thing is to sweep it under the rug. Because I don't know how many times they offered money. They're like, will you just get out of here? Will you just get out of here? I'm like, I want my hand fixed. Like I can't. So to this day, I can't complain, but I can't use my hand like I could anymore. I can't do all the, what you say, normal. I mean, like I can do push-ups and stuff like that, but I literally have to do things like
grabbing
this.
and
I
stuff.
can't bend my wrist. Like I always give people the best notion because if you take your hand, you're like doing this. I can't do that with my hand. It locks out. Like that's as far as it will go. I lost all my momentum because I sat for 8 months and I lost my bone. So they had to come in the top, take a bone out, put it back in.
Oh man.
I was in a cast for 2 years. I came out and my hand looked like, you know, see the alien movies and the skin? I mean, it was real. Like my hand was, like I could put my whole around my arm. And I had to go through physical therapy and I had to do all this stuff.
Said it. when
And
it first
the right,
happened.
yeah.
And the whole debate in DOC, which they get away with, is we don't know whether that would have fixed it if we would have done that at the time or not. And the judge says, you're right, we don't know. So we'll just...
Well, they're all paid and side, like on the same side. So no matter what you say, no matter even if you had cold hard facts, they're still going to side against it. Like you said, sweep it under the rug. It's not our problem. And then society is like, well, they shouldn't be in trouble. But that's not the case.
That's the whole thought, because then society's always, because it's like you've got free healthcare, you've got free meals, you've got all this. But in technically, it's not, I mean, it's not plain and white, black and white like
No,
it is.
it's not.
Sometimes we don't get the food that we should get. We don't get 3 meals a day. Cafeteria ain't get, they ran out of food. Here's an orange. Like
Yep.
stuff like that really happens.
I know.
And people are like, just like, well, maybe, and medical, like you can, you know, personally, like this is a real thing. And I commend you for standing up and doing this because we need more people to do this, you know?
Thank you.
And it's a thing since I've come home, like I'm passionate. It's something like, I don't even feel like I have to sit here and think about it. It just comes out because it's, and everybody that's here and everybody that's bringing awareness or talking about it, man, I thank everybody because there's, people, the biggest question I get now is, do you miss the place? Because it was so long, right? And heck no, I don't miss the place. But I missed some of those people.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel you there.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you for letting us come.
No, thank you for coming. Every event, every chance I get speaking to somebody new, you know, it affects so many of us, and
it's hard. And even like this little, like, okay, I had a long span, so it's hard for people to give up that long, but like, I can remember somebody sending me a card one time. That stuck with me forever. Forever. That whole sentence, that stuck with me. One card. Just because you're like, you know, somebody's thinking.
I know.
Somebody's there.
I know.
I'm all about it.
I know.
And I appreciate you guys letting us come and let me gossip. Sorry, I'll get off.
No, don't be sorry.
I could go for hours, but I just, you know, I love everything you guys are doing. And I was still in when this happened, and I remember hearing about it because this gentleman over here has always kept me in the loop. Even when he came home, and even now that I'm here, I work so much. That's like part of, like, I love to share is because we all deserve the opportunity to come out and do these things. Like, I mean, I was told, you're not doing nothing, you know? And I'm like, look at me now, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yep.
in a place I never thought I would be. I got an education. I'm a biomed now.
What?
And I don't even know, yeah. See, nobody, when I come in a room, everybody's like, you do what? I'm like, yeah, that's what I do now.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, I'm doing great. I'm living life, you know, I could be doing better if I budget better probably.
Wouldn't we all?
But, like, I never thought I'd be in the point I am now. I originally started as an electrician.
That's
Like,
good.
I worked to get that, and now I'm doing this, and I'm like, I'm blessed.
Amen.
Because, you know, we came out, we got that, and more people need that, because that's all they're told is that they will never be anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that ain't true, man, because, I mean, I did so long there. Look at me. Like, any of us can do this.
Yeah.
Any of us. But we need the chance and the opportunity, and it needs to be like you're doing out there, because nobody understands until you've had somebody, you've known somebody, or you've done it personally of what it's really like.
True. True.
And that's the facts of it. Yes, ma'am.
Cops, they act all perfect to all of the world, but they're not. They have like lots of secrets. They don't act perfect. They just act perfect to the audience. They might seem perfect, but they're not. They have lots of secrets. They never tell anyone. They hide lots of secrets actually.
Yeah, no,
Lots.
Right, Lauren.
it's true.
Very wise, honey.
They seem perfect on the outside, but they're not perfect.
It's true.
I mean,
there's good and bad
They
on both
just
sides,
sweep
but-
it under the rug and they don't tell the people at all.
Unless you've been personally affected or somehow your life has led you to this kind of stuff. I mean, all we really know as a society is the glimpses we see in the newspaper or the 1 minute on TV about, like George Floyd or whatever, some little brief thing, but you never really know. And until like Eddie, this happened to Eddie, I just was like, oh yeah, I know it's happening, but I have just been very dismissive of it. And then once I found out like about my brother passing away and really have dove into like learning about it, how many people it's affecting, what people are actually doing, it's just so alarming. It's so crazy how many people die nationwide, worldwide from these things. I mean, again, I think about my brother and what they told me. He wasn't feeling well, and he went and laid down unresponsive. Most people want to think that society, the prison, have their loved ones' best interest at heart. So they're going to take like a mother. I know my mother would have been like, oh my gosh, poor Eddie, and that would have been it. Right. I mean, she wouldn't have been wrong, but that's really what people think and see. But I'm wondering if I know that if it wasn't for me pushing and driving and finding out this stuff myself, I would have never found out about Eddie. And how many other people, families, has that happened to, that they just thought, oh, he just went to sleep,
It's, yeah, there's a lot.
There's so much.
And I don't even think like what you do now. I don't think some of these would have even came to light if you guys wouldn't have pressed the issue.
Yeah.
They would never say anything. I can't think of how many times I think when I started at like Snake River, every week in the newsletter would be somebody's death listed. Somebody most recently with us since this date, and it would say their name, and that was like every week, and we never knew from what, old age, what,
Nothing.
unless we were on the yard or something when it happened.
There's nothing.
But
There's no follow-up. There's no,
nobody outside hears about it.
Yeah, no, because they're not going to spend their money for the medical examiner. They're not going to waste their time. And the only ones, which, again, after we have spoke to senators and we have researched the law, they do not have to tell us by law who dies, when they die.
Yeah.
The only ones that make the media are the people that are like high profile or young or somebody that's something. You know what I mean? And Eddie had shot a cop about 5 years prior to him dying, and the cop is fine, if you don't know, okay? But anyways, that's a big thing around here. Nobody shoots cops. Nobody. And so that's why his name got on the news.
Also, what nobody else knows is that very cop was a bastard bully in high school, too.
It's crazy that it has to come to like, yeah, without that we probably wouldn't have heard, or you wouldn't
Yeah.
have heard until,
Well, how many people do we not know that's actually dying?
probably a lot.
So there's some that, they release them to the media, but then the media only releases whichever ones they decide to. So to get an adequate number, you'd have to, file a FOIA request and right now,
Pay
it's
for
taking forever.
documentation, basically like subpoena the state asking, hey, I want this information, and then they charge for how much? A page, an
It's
hour?
$25. The minimum is $25 an hour. The most expensive is $75 an hour, depending on what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can just look online. But any place else, I know I do safety for construction, and we have to report anything to OSHA. And if you look on the OSHA website, there's a rolling log of all the deaths, all the people that have died. But how are they any different dying in the field than in prison? They're still fucking people. They still matter. So why would we have to pay to see their information?
Well, the thing is okay, so you're paying to get it, but they're also being paid by tax dollars to do the damn job.
Yeah.
So they're getting double pay to do what they're supposed to be doing.
Insane.
Not to mention, they're supposed to be taking care of that person and watching that person more than they do a civilian that is out in the public.
I know.
Yeah,
So-
so when you're in a dry cell, which is what Eddie was in, they want to say, that you're supposed to be watched even closer or even on video 24/7.
There was. Does anybody else have a story or something? Something, I mean, whether it's you being incarcerated or something that you've seen, something that's touched you, something that's made an impact on your life. You want to share? Come on.
Eddie Duncan was my dad. He would call every day saying he's gonna come back, but he never did because they killed him. He was so excited. He had like this little perk in his voice, and he would say, "Oh, I'm gonna come back. Oh, yeah," and stuff, but he never did. And I have a feeling they actually did kill him because he never came back because he had like that happy perk in his voice thing, like "I'm gonna come back" and all this stuff, and he would call almost every single day.
I know. I seen him 17 days before he died. And he was all happy and, "Oh, it's my birthday." I'm like, "I already know. It was yesterday. I seen him on the 22nd. And then I sent him a bunch of books. And we spoke all the time and do this and buy the girls this. And, you know, the same laundry list of things that he would instruct me to do. Oh, my God. But don't forget, you're my favorite sister. Get out of here. Stop it. But
I remember always going, I gotta stop and do this for Eddie. I gotta go put this on the bus for Eddie. I gotta go take care of the girls for Eddie.
I know, always. I know, but I mean, looking back, I would do it all again 100 times over because
Oh, absolutely. It's just funny how in the moment you think those things are irritating. And
so irritating. You're like,
and
"Oh my God."
now
what,
you're like,
Eddie?
I'd give anything for him just to call me 1,000 times today.
Right? Brandy, where's that picture I sent you? Oh my gosh. He's like, "Answer your phone, biatch." Oh my God. You know?
Or my bud, why did you fucking answer me? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, "Come tell her to answer the phone." But, I mean,
When you're doing that much time, dude, you ain't got nothing but time on your hands. And
you have no control of anything.
Yeah.
So, I would gladly do it all again for another chance with my
oh, you were
brother.
always happy to do it.
I was like a
Sometimes
little
you were just
resentful,
like,
but you know
yeah.
what I mean. Like, again, stop calling me. You know. So why didn't you answer? I'm like, "I'm at work. Come on."
Bro,
But,
my
yeah.
life didn't stop.
I know. But I love seeing him. I seen him as much as I could, and it wasn't supposed to be like this. So that's why we're here. As you said, Bailey, you know, like that card right there. This is our second year of doing an annual Christmas card, third year of event.
No, third year for Christmas. We did 75 the first year.
No, but
Just over
the
100
first year we bought some and then sent them in.
Yeah, but this is the first time doing the printed ones. But
Yeah, and then last year we had ones that were made.
Yeah, just-
Remember last year? Yeah, pretty cool. But just that card is going to mean a lot to these, you know, individuals, and you know, we really want correspondence, and so we really want, if anybody is interested, we have a PO box. We have, we'll facilitate anything that you may need to be in correspondence, but we want people to have somebody they can write to, especially the people that have nobody, you know, like, "Oh my gosh, this Christmas card," and we like to make it like centered around, you know, something that they could get a kick out of, something that the ODOC will still let into the prison. But I mean, if you take a look at these ones, they're pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty awesome, actually. Protect our incarcerated. You know, outside the Capitol, Santa and the snowman protesting. Yeah. So something they can get a kick out of, but we also want them to be able to contact us, have their loved ones on the outside contact us, and we'd love to be in constant communication with these people, you know, show support, you know, help them while they're in there and when they get out, and just like you know, hopefully have more people show up and be involved, you know. So if anybody is interested, please let me know. We will, we have a website and a Facebook page, but, even send you a picture of the letter, their information, and we'd love for you guys to be back and forth. Even a letter here and there, a postcard, something will mean a lot. As you said, again, that one freaking card, that one time, still sticks with you how many years later?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Think about it, 'cause it was a long time, and you get in that set to where you don't really
Expect.
anything from the outside anymore. Let's just stay and doing so long.
Yeah.
And every now and then something come through, and you just remember it.
Yeah.
Keeps the joy and the hope alive.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Good.